We are live here with the High Council. Tonight you have me, Jeff Hicks, your host from World Class Bullshitters, and with us is Ethan Van Sciver of Comic Artist Pro Secrets,
Hey,
and finally our newest guest, Captain Cummings.
How's it going, guys?
it's going good, Captain Cummings. We're happy to have you with us today. You are home. You were out serving your country, unlike the rest of these SJW scumbags who sit on their asses and cause trouble. They do not know. They do not know how the real world works like you do, and yet they're so quick to throw stones, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they don't know what it's like. They do
They,
not.
they don't know what it's like. So that's why most of the world values your opinion a lot more than any of their opinion. I mean, so that's why your channel, Captain Cummings. By the way, those of you out there who have not yet subscribed to Captain Cummings, his hilarious vitriolic take on the comic book industry is well worth your subscription. You should all look up Captain, like Captain Crunch, CAPN, Cummings, CUMMINGS, and subscribe right now. Pledge your loyalty by ringing that bell and rocking that like button on all of his videos. We do appreciate you.
In many ways, Captain Cummings is the reason why the High Council exists, because I found his channel, and then through his channel I found Diversity in Comics, and through Diversity in Comics I learned that Ethan had a channel, and now we're here. So everyone, if you like our show, thank this guy.
Yeah, seriously, Captain Cummings, you are the origin of all of this. You realize that, don't you?
I don't know if it's good to inflate my ego like that, though. I mean,
I think you deserve it. I'm bringing in another guy. Let's bring in Weaponized Nerd Rage, another YouTuber. And he's gonna pop in here in a second, I think. He's pretty cool. By the way, one of the cool. Do you know him, Captain Cummings?
oh yeah. I mean, he's been around for a while.
All right,
I
let's
haven't
see.
actually spoken to him or anything, but
Is that you?
coughing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Weaponized Nerd Rage will be on in 10 minutes. All right, so what I wanted to talk about tonight, if you guys don't mind me immediately stepping up to the plate and swinging for the freaking bleachers, which is what I'm doing. And by the way, when I swing at this one, I'm going to crack the bat. Crack it right now. You ever do that? You ever crack a bat?
No, I always played with aluminum.
Oh. All right. Well, I play with good old Louisville Slugger, and I will crack that bat when I hit this over the bleachers. Let me tell you something. Some fans alerted me today to the most corrupt and evil. Did I say the word evil? I'm going to say the word. I'm going to use the word evil. Star Wars poll that I've ever seen, and it was right on. Is it StarWars.com or StarWars.net? But it was the mainstream Star Wars website. And I got to get in there and I got to clean house. Me and you, we got to come over there. We'll bring Captain Cummings. We got to just clean house because it has been infested. They had a poll that they started on May 4th when I was out of town, when I was busy, preoccupied, so I couldn't monitor it. They had a poll that was just like, which is your favorite Star Wars film? Which is the best Star Wars film? And they listed all 9 of the movies. This is an easy choice. I mean, it's a pretty easy choice. Which is your favorite Star Wars movie, Captain Cummings?
I mean, The Empire Strikes Back.
That's the correct answer. What about you, World Class?
I will be the controversial one and say A New Hope for many reasons. I think A New Hope's better than The Empire Strikes Back.
I don't think it's better, but I can understand the distinction. And by the way, A New Hope will always be in everyone's, like, in the history of film, one of the top 100 films ever made. I mean, just including Gone with the Wind, A New Hope is going to be on that list. Because of its importance, my vote is for Empire Strikes Back, even though deep in my heart, if you were to really like look into my heart and say what's your favorite Star Wars film, I'm afraid you'd learn that it was Return of the Jedi. And I rub my temples as I say that because I know people disagree. But I don't care. Luke Skywalker dressed in black with the hood, walking in there and fucking up Jabba the Hutt's palace, the Rancor monster, getting on that sail barge, having R2 whip that beautiful green lightsaber at him, and just kicking ass over the Sarlacc pit. That is the greatest Star Wars scene ever made. My
I mean,
heart
it's
soars.
I like Return of the Jedi. I like all the original trilogy. Like I've said on all my videos, I got the posters in front of me in my office. It's when you get to the newer stuff that it kind of shits the bed, but the original three are almost flawless.
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, I mean, almost people complain about the Ewoks, I think. I mean, that's what people are complaining about when it comes to Return of the Jedi, but I like the
Here's
Ewoks.
something about controversial. When I was a kid eating Captain Crunch, I liked the Ewoks. They were near and dear to my heart.
Yeah. Well, everyone likes the Ewoks.
Not
Everyone
me.
does. Well, as kid, okay, look, the Ewoks are meant to look like little teddy bears, but they're really like sick little cannibal bastards. That's the thing to understand about them. You think they're cute, and from a distance, they are kind of cute. They do look like teddy bears, but then when you really see their faces and their crooked teeth and their little black lips and their soulless shark eyes, you know that they want to eat your flesh.
Have you seen the special edition changes? Now they blink. They look even more demented.
You know what? I never noticed that.
Yeah, on the Blu-ray release only. So if you're watching the DVD, it's not on there. But yeah, they blink now, and it's really creepy.
I don't know why George Lucas felt the need to do that, to constantly change his classic films. Just leave him alone.
There are some changes that are good, but it's still the best analogy I ever heard is it's like your dream car. It's the most perfect car ever. And every time George Lucas makes a special edition change, someone comes along with a key and scratches it. It's still that great car that you love, but you can never stop focusing on the scratches, even though the whole thing is still a great car.
But I still think it's a great car. I don't think they are a scratch. I'm going to ask Zach real quick here and see. I'm sorry. This is behind the scenes stuff. But anyway, what I wanted to say was, despite that, I mean, we all kind of agree that, these movies are the best. One of the three movies. So this poll, this fucking cucked out, disgusting poll on the mainstream StarWars.net website had The Last Jedi at number one. 30% of 40,000 voters had selected The Last Jedi as number one. I've never been so angry in my entire life.
Really?
Let me tell you
Maybe not. Maybe I'm exaggerating.
I got to tell you guys my experience watching The Last Jedi. So Disney actually sent the film to us, the troops, to watch, and they sent it to 20,000 troops, is what they said, to watch it throughout, where we were deployed. And we sat down. We're about to watch it, and as soon as Princess Leia got sucked out into space and then flew back in somehow, I was like, I'm done. I don't even want to do this anymore. I wanted to get up and walk off, but I was like, I don't want to be rude, so I'll just sit here and, also I don't want to go back to work, so I'll sit here and I'll pressure through it.
What was your impression? I mean, you were in a different place. You're fighting for our country. You're overseas. Now, did that influence the way that you looked at the movie at all when you saw it?
I mean, you would think I would like it, because I'm getting out of work to watch it, but I just couldn't even, it was like, no.
Yeah. Well, I saw it and it destroyed my life.
Bullshit, it made your life better. Look where you are now.
All right. In a way, I think it did. It gave me a good kind of avenue of focus for some anger that I was feeling. New purpose, and also it gave me an excuse to bust out the old Star Wars movies again and just really reappreciate them. Plus, I started buying some toys, which was fun too. But listen, no, it did destroy my world. It really affected my worldview in a lot of ways, and I've been studying it very carefully ever since. With you, Jeff, at World Class Bullshitters, trying to sort out exactly why this happened. And the fan base is confused and enraged in a lot of cases and looking for answers. And YouTube is now full of these Star Wars channels, like Star Wars fans just posing questions. A lot of them have been influenced by your channel, by the way, and we're all influenced by Captain Cummings' channel. Captain Cummings is basically, is he the Elvis of YouTube? Of the
YouTube?
Critics YouTube.
If we're talking comic critics, yeah. So would that make Diversity in Comics Michael Jackson?
Definitely. I think it makes him Diana Ross. But yeah. So anyway, this poll, this crazy poll, and I'm trying to load it, and for some reason it's not loading. People have been complaining that this poll has not been loading ever since I made a video about it.
I got it
this
right
morning.
here in front of me.
Oh, do you have the answers? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
So the poll is, what is your favorite Star Wars movie? And here we go. I'm going to read these in order of release. So A New Hope sits with 7%. Thanks to you, Ethan, The Empire Strikes Back is the number one with 41%.
Oh, hell yeah.
Return of the Jedi sits at 7%. The Phantom Menace at 2%. Attack of the Clones at 1%. Revenge of the Sith at 17%. Here's where my heart begins to sing a little bit. The Force Awakens, 2%. Fuck that movie. Rogue One, 5%. And this is where I lose all faith in humanity. 18% for The Last Jedi. Now that's
18%. Yes.
That's
all right.
67,108 votes at the time of this episode.
It's gone down 2%.
That's right. Okay, so it's gone down. All right. So when we started this morning, it was leading at number one with 30%, and we got our army of real Star Wars fans to fight and beat back these trolls. Because anyone who voted for this movie in large numbers is a troll. They did this on purpose. They did this at the instruction of somebody. They must have. Doesn't make any sense. No real Star Wars fan would pass over Empire or the original Star Wars: A New Hope and to vote for The Last Jedi as their favorite film.
Now,
unless they're kids.
I don't think a film lover would vote for that movie.
We got a super chat from Walesy. This is for you, Captain. When you saw the Leia scene, did you decide at that point that the country didn't deserve your service?
No, because Disney is not the country, and I'm there for you people and myself because I'm getting paid. But
just like let it burn. Let it burn. No.
Well, it's funny you brought up Disney not being the country. I just watched a video today over on the Defunct Land channel where it talks about Disney's greatest failure, Euro Disneyland. And it was nice to watch a video where Disney crashed and burned in 2 years. So I think we're about due for another Euro Disney debacle. Have you guys heard of that?
Yeah. Okay, so that was pretty exceptional. Disney does fail. I mean, it's not like Disney is, invincible.
It's been a
People
while.
Are like,
John Carter was their last flop, and that was 8
really?
years ago, 6 years ago.
Let me think about that for a little while. Is that true?
Well, they really don't put out anything that's challenging. They just keep remaking their animated movies, and those make a bunch of money. And then they own Pixar, and all those movies are always a hit, except for Cars 2. But it makes all its money in the back end with merchandise. And now they just make Star Wars and Marvel movies, and none of those have been a flop financially. Critically, it's divisive with The Last Jedi, but yeah, it's maybe Mars Needs Moms is more recent than John Carter of Mars, but other than that, I think they've been pretty flawless for like the last decade.
To be fair, Disney has never messed with anything like Star Wars fans before.
True, very true. They've just been doing their Disney princess shit, but now that they got guys like us involved, may not been worth the money.
Don't mess with us, for goodness sakes. Counter-Strike, thank you for $5. EVS, so what made you more angry, Star Wars Rose Tico or Justice League Flash? What a great question. I'm going to pass that over to you guys first. What do you guys think?
I didn't know you had a problem with Justice League Flash.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. All right.
Well,
we'll get to that.
We will. I'm excited to hear that. For me, Rose Tico's lame. Like, I always disliked her, but you have made me appreciate how stupid she is, Ethan, to a point where it's like, now even I think about her at weird times of the day.
She's almost lovable now.
Yeah, I bet you the actress would embrace all this, like, this weird underground obsession with her.
I wouldn't think so. I would disagree with that. I think that she's probably a very serious person. I think she might be kind of an SJW, in which case they do not take any kind of ironic mockery of themselves very well at all. I think she'd be outraged by this. People are like, can we just maybe we should tweet Kelly Tran your drawing of her as Slave Leia? I'm like, that wouldn't be a great idea. I don't know, but you could appreciate that.
You could tweet her that video of me kicking down the stacks of her action figures. I mean,
that was funny.
We can do that. That's not any. There's no sexual connotations with that one, guys.
Hey,
and it's not about her. It's not about Kelly Tran. Like, she shouldn't take this personally. Like, I'm sure actually she's a lovely person and she's kind of hot, when she's not wearing that stupid wig. So it's not about that. It's about this dumbass character and the way it was presented to us. Like, she was going to be, the be all end all of SJW kind of diversity characters, and it's so lazy. Like, why couldn't they make her good? How hard is it to write a great, not a great character? How hard is it to write a good character?
An adequate one.
Yeah,
Adequate.
Well, look at Padme. She wasn't the greatest thing ever, but she wasn't lame like Rose Tico or Rey. I never once watched those movies and went, she shouldn't really be able to fire a gun. No, she was fine. She did what she had to do. She took charge. Rose Tico has her little cattle prod thing that she hits Finn with, and that's it. Like, she's not a hero.
Is that a cattle prod? What is that
I don't
thing?
know. A space cattle prod, a spraddle sprod.
It was an arc welder. My inner Star Wars nerd is coming out. It was a mechanical tool.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Weaponized Nerd Rage. Hello, sir.
Hey, sorry it took me a while. I had to go yell at my mechanic at like 9:30 at night.
That's never good.
Mm-mm.
No, it's not. But it's an adventure, I guess.
Yeah.
Real quick, we got two super chats. Let's Watch says, we are actually live. Yes, here's some money. Thank you, Let's Watch. And one of World Class Bullshitter's longest running fans, The Healthy Man, he said, well, where'd it go? Before I die, I promise I'll be on this show. I've been waiting 2 years for this, but my Skype is gay. I will become a patron one day, I promise. Thanks,
Nice.
dude. And one more. We got Rex here. This is for you, EVS. Please, EVS, please be their coach on the new Green Lantern film.
All right. I mean, I don't know. I'm so down on Hollywood now. Like, I can't imagine that they could get anything right. Except Marvel is cruising. They're really on the right track about everything. But to answer that question about who's worse, Rose Tico or The Flash, by the way, that would make a great movie, Rose Tico and The Flash. I like it. It just sounds good. Yeah.
This is going to spawn so many more weird Fabio videos.
It's going to spawn so much more weird fan art, which I thoroughly enjoy. I had a girl send me a picture of Rey, like staring off into space, watching two clowns have sex, which is an ongoing meme from my channel. And I laughed. So it's the best drawing. I said, is this private or can I share it? I have to show people this drawing. Rose Tico, I love now. There's a GIF of her going around where she breaks into laughter with John Boyega, and her little face. I mean, she's such a little chunky midget, and seeing her, seeing that like that hard face that she always has break into cute little laughter, warmed my heart. So people are saying I'm crushing on Rose Tico. I kind of am. I mean, I have to admit. So The Flash is infinitely more horrible. If you watched the actor who played the Flash in any of his promotional appearances for Justice League, he deserves. I hope he just walks into the ocean and keeps on walking and never stops. The actor, I mean, not the Flash. The Flash would be fine. He would not be, and that is the point. He is a pill, dude. He was on there with the great who's the actress who plays Wonder Woman?
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot. He's on there with Gal Gadot, and he's like, "Can I just get you to say that, like, hey, sexist Trump voters or whatever it is, your time is through." Something like that, like something crazy. And she just looked at him like, and he's like giggling and bouncing up and down that he's sitting next to Wonder Woman and he's going to get to stick it to his political enemies. And I'm just like, will you get this dude out of here? And Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot did not do it, by the way. She didn't do it. But anyway, I watched the movie and this giggly little dude, that's not Barry Allen. That's not my Barry Allen. It's not the Barry Allen that I drew. Barry Allen's a police scientist.
Barry Allen.
I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. I've had a Barry Allen in mind for a little while. I think his name, why do I want to say his name is Barry Pepper? I got to think about that. No, he was on Band of Brothers, and he was great on Band of Brothers. I will think of his name, but he's a little too old now.
Yeah, Barry Pepper was in that movie Battlefield Earth with John Travolta, the Scientology movie.
I need to take a look at him. Hold on, let me look him up real quick, and I'm just going to see if it's who I'm thinking of.
Well, while you look him up real quick, we got a couple super chats to answer. First off, Adam A. Okay, this is important. Bloodsport or kickboxer? Personally, Bloodsport. What do you guys say?
Bloodsport.
Kickboxer.
I'm with you. Bloodsport.
Now, by the way, Adam, over on our Patreon next month, it's June Claude Van Damme month, so we're going to do all these great John Claude Van Damme movies. So make sure you check those out.
That's my
Secondly, what was that, Cap?
That's my childhood right there.
He's awesome. Even Street Fighter, which sucks, is still watchable, unlike The Last Jedi. Let's see. This comes from Josh, the Amazing Animator. All y'all are crazy. Return of the Jedi is the best Star Wars movie, hands down.
I'm not disagreeing though.
I will.
Go ahead and disagree. Oh, it's not Barry Pepper. It's Neil McDonough. Or Neil McDonough.
Neil
How can
McDonough?
you honestly say Return of the Jedi is better than Empire Strikes Back?
You weren't here for the part where I thought that A New Hope's better than Empire, but I've had that discussion way too many times.
I can understand A New Hope. I can, because it's the one that started it all. It's the one that blew everybody's minds. But Return of the Jedi better than Empire Strikes Back? Come on.
I think
Tell
A
us
New
why.
Hope. I think A New Hope has better pacing than Empire, and that's where I always fall back on my answer.
Tell me why there's no way that Return of the Jedi is better than Empire weaponized.
Well, they were. Empire Strikes Back is one of my favorite movies when it comes to just how it was put together. The cinematography, the lighting. They had the best of the best working on that film, and they didn't really ever try to do anything creative in Return of the Jedi. It was all very basic. Not to mention, Return of the Jedi had fucking Ewoks. We have to deal with that crap now. And how can you beat the "No, I am your father" scene? I mean, it completely flipped the entire story on its head at that one moment. Plus, it gave us Yoda. I mean, we had all those great scenes in Dagobah. I mean, there are more memorable scenes in Empire Strikes Back than there are Return of the Jedi. Most Star Wars fans, I will challenge you, they can probably recite verbatim 75% of the scenes in The Empire Strikes Back, but they can't do that with Return of the Jedi, at least in my experience.
Depends on the age of the person you're talking to. Because if you're, I'm almost 30, so I remember being a kid, like, Return of the Jedi was technically the most recent one, and people really didn't shit on it the way they do now. I mean, Clerks came along and had its little line here and there, but I just remember a time where it's like, Star Wars movies are great. And then the first one I remember people really railing on was The Phantom Menace, and then people started to go back and really kind of shit on Return of the Jedi. Now, I'll agree, though, that there's nothing as iconic. Well, there are as iconic set pieces, but there's nothing like the gut punch emotionally that is the Vader reveal.
Well, that might be the most iconic moment in any Star Wars movie, the Luke, I am your father. Like, if you were going to distill the whole first... In fact, I think if you were to distill the whole series down, it might come down to just that line as the most pivotal moment, the most famous moment in Star Wars. Yes or no?
I mean, Return of the Jedi, I'm not shitting on Return of the Jedi. I do love Return of the Jedi, but it's like Return of the Jedi is a 8.5 out of 10, and then Empire Strikes Back is a 9.5 solid 10 as far as Star Wars movies go, in my opinion.
It's a great movie. I just feel like it's very front loaded and it sags in the middle. You have this awesome opening, and it's the only Star Wars movie that has Han Solo in the opening, and that's my favorite character, so I'm excited for that part. But once you get past the asteroid chase and you get to the Yoda stuff, it's fine, but it's when it cuts away and it just kind of drags on here and there, and then the ending's great, but it's that middle part. At least with the first Star Wars movie, it's just an upward progression. Like, you start with the thing on the Tantive 4, as soon as the droids land, they find Luke, and you're on your adventure. It doesn't slow back down. It just keeps going forward. And then the movie has a point where it could end after they escape the Death Star, but then there's a 25-minute space battle. Well, 15. My point is, like, it just goes on pacing-wise. It blows me away each time. Empire, when it gets to some of the Yoda stuff, I'm kind of like waiting.
I'm sorry. I just think Return of the Jedi is far more colorful. Empire Strikes Back is neat. I mean, it really is cool. I don't want to, but when I think of the colorfulness, the interesting slimy creatures of Return of the Jedi, I just think of the Rancor monster. I think, and there's plenty. I mean, look, Jabba's palace, that just kills it. It's the best thing ever. Princess Leia in slave gear, the sail barge sequence. I'll take the whole front half of Return of the Jedi against I feel bad saying this against the rest of the movies. I really, really like it. I will watch that over and over again.
I think there's a I think you're expected to say Empire in a lot of social circles, and that's where we get a lot of opinions in fandom in general. I don't think a lot of people in fandom like have their own opinions. It's like, oh, The Dark Knight's the best comic book movie ever made. It's a
From
fine
what
movie.
I've heard other people say, right?
Yeah, it's a fine movie, and I really like it. And I'm working on something for a fan over on Patreon that'll go up tonight that's referenced or is related to The Dark Knight. But I feel like the more people you talk to that actually have experienced all these movies, Dark Knight is some of their favorites, but it's also, I'd say a lot of people have it in their top 5, but not as many people have it as their top 1 anymore.
I still have Superman. I mean, I've been watching it since I was like a young child, and it just gets better.
Talking 78.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie.
It does get better. No wonder, though, Captain Cummings, they got the creative team behind Godfather to write a Superman movie. And by the way,
which
with
Godfather is my favorite movie of all time, you know?
There you go.
Now we got a couple super chats real quick. Midnight Cherry TV. I did not watch True Romance yet. I apologize. Arizayer 11. Love your guys' work. Quick question. Who do you think was the most wasted character in the new trilogy? Phasma or Snoke?
Snoke.
Yeah, I agree with Snoke.
Hands down.
Yeah, Snoke.
Let's see. We got a couple more because these keep rolling in. Oppressatron. If Roth was redone with the Ewoks as bloodthirsty CGI, I guess I meant to say Return of the Jedi. If Return of the Jedi was redone with Ewoks as bloodthirsty CGI monsters instead of cute, googly-eyed puppets, it would go a long way to change people's opinion.
Yeah, but I never thought they were cute little puppets. They're not. They're costumes with little midgets inside. And I initially I thought they were cute, and then you really get a close up of their faces. They're not cute. They're disappointingly uncute. You want them to be, and they're not.
Oh, come on. They're like little Teddy Ruxpins walking around.
I like the way they waddle.
I don't know. I think they made it more creepy when they did the remastered edition, like the most recent one, where they made them start blinking and everything. You saw the weird CGI blinking on the cold puppet faces. Like, it was weird as hell.
World Class mentioned that earlier.
Now, hold on, we still got more. Sorry, these people are really wanting to get into this conversation. It says, this is from Let's Watch. Thank you very much, Let's Watch. Because I love you, J.J. Abrams said that Episode 9 wouldn't be influenced by The Last Jedi. So basically, all 3 movies are more random movies with barely any connection than an actual trilogy. I didn't know that was happening. I try to stay away from Star Wars news every minute because I like my sanity. Zach Smith says they reset the poll. Vote now. Did they reset the poll?
No, it's not. It keeps crashing. There's so many people that are hitting it that the poll keeps crashing, and when it's crashed and you voted, you'll know it because you'll be the only vote, and it'll say 100%. Just reset it and try again.
Okay, who else we got? Adam A. He said, I undersub. Thank you, Adam A. Appreciate that. Artoyus Dark Knight. Flash in Justice League was an awkward Jewish Flash cosplayer.
I don't know if he's Jewish, but awkward. Sure.
Mr. Jackpot says, better start to a movie, Hoth or Jabba? And
Jabba.
Ethan, you say Jabba.
Yep.
I'll go Jabba as well. Well, it takes like 40 minutes to get to the pit of Carkoon, which is awesome. But then again, Luke gets hit in the face by the Womp within like the first 3. So if I want action instantly or a bigger payoff, where do I go? You guys talk about it. I'll think about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that sail barge scene, I'm gonna watch it again tonight. I'm into it. What do you guys think?
The music on the sail barge is awesome, especially like when they're all looking at each other and nodding and the trumpet hits, and then Luke goes into the pit and does the front flip, catches his lightsaber. It's awesome. I can't shit on it.
Neither can I. I mean, they really remade film history with the puppet work and the special effects in that scene. I mean, everything that they did with Return of the Jedi was a step up as far as the puppets goes. I mean, they just took Yoda and all the great work they did with him in Empire and dialed it up to 11 for that one scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, from an artistic standpoint, it's awesome.
Yeah. By the way, 780 people watching right now. Welcome, everybody. Listen, let me just point out, if you have not subscribed to Weaponized Nerd Rage, Go do that right now. Go subscribe to his channel. Hit the bell. He is a Star Wars fan. If you have not subscribed to Cap'n Cummings, go do that right now. Cap'n, CAPN, Cummings, CUMMINGS. Yeah, hit that bell too for notifications. Subscribe to me, Comic Artist Pro Secrets, if you want. You don't have to. I'm pretty annoying. And but definitely subscribe to World Class Bullshitters as well. We welcome you. This is a growing community. It's a growing concern. We want you to be a part of it. And you are welcome and safe here.
We really are like a team at this point. You, me, the Geeks and Gamers guy, like we're all kind of working together at this point to make this cause known, because Star Wars, it sucks so much ass right now, and so many people in places of power trying to act like, oh, everything's great, we're all fine here now, thank you. No, you're not fucking fine. Okay, there's a schism. And hold on, we got more of these super chats. Sorry, Michael Hand says the Ewoks are a crucially important part of the story. Plus, it was the perfect counterbalance to the darker elements of the Luke Vader Emperor sequence. What do you guys think?
Well, I just agree. One of the things that I love about the Star Wars movies is the change of scenery all the time. And I mean, from Hoth, Snowy Planet, to the next movie, Return of the Jedi. Of course, it's back to the desert. It looks a little like Tatooine. So we've seen that before. But then we go into the forest moon of Endor, and it's always a new environment. Did you see the leaked bullshit for Episode 9?
Oh yeah, I covered it this week in Star Wars. Ugh.
All takes place underwater.
What is it?
Go look at it. It's
water.
Yeah, it's underwater. I wondered if it was like Gungan, but who knows? I think they're gonna have to bring back the Gungans eventually, right? Or no?
Well, no, because they're only on Naboo. So, yeah, I hate that I know shit about Episode 1. The most fucked up part about my life right now is that I don't hate Episode 1 anymore. While it's not a good movie, there are worse Star Wars films.
Well, I watched Episode 1 recently, and I was like, it's better than I remember,
I'm talking like a 5 out of 10 here. I'm not saying it's like great, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
the
the Jar Jar Binks brings it down a lot. It's annoying, but overall, it's like, you got some racing, you got some action, whatever.
Amazing lightsaber duel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Ray
that was
Parks
great. That was
as
the best
Darth
part.
Maul was incredible.
Yeah. The worst part is that Darth Maul died in there.
Yeah, every prequel film was faced with that problem, because you introduce a really cool new villain and then they die in their first appearance, because Darth Maul was in marketing for Episode 1, as well as Jango Fett was everywhere for 2 and Grievous everywhere for 3, and they just get wiped out real quick.
And then they bring Darth Maul back in the EU, and then in Clone Wars and Rebels. And did you guys ever follow any of the stuff they did with him after his death?
No, I missed out on it.
It honestly wasn't bad. When it first started and they brought in his brother and they gave him like these weird junker spider legs, I'm like, oh god, this is what we're gonna be fucking dealing with. But they really fucking fixed it up. I was kind of surprised at how well they handled Darth Maul.
Rax the Hero, thanks for $2. Says let Cecil join. Rax, do you see Cecil anywhere? I sent him a link and I said he's welcome to join if he wants and if he's sober, and if he can meet those two criteria, he is allowed to join us. But I don't think if you hear ice cubes clinking suddenly very loudly in your microphone, you'll know Cecil has joined us. But just understand,
He said he was
we know
going to drive somewhere.
Yeah, like we know you guys love him. I can't stand. I'm just kidding. No, I love Cecil. I love Cecil. But yeah, we know you love him. We know you want him here, so he's always invited to be here if he can.
By the way, Matthew Manahan with a super chat, he says, "Do you ever think we'll get an official release of the original Star Wars trilogy on Blu-ray/DVD?"
Well, it's on DVD already.
Yeah, the 2006 set.
Yeah.
But it's a shitty Laserdisc transfer with that weird digital blurring. So unless you have like a standard def TV, you're not going to enjoy watching it.
Well, here's the thing. There's some official news on it, and there's some fan news on it. Is Disney has been saying for a while that they want to take the original negatives of the original trilogy and put them on Blu-ray and put them out. The problem with that is George Lucas destroyed them. And so there was a project for a while to try and get the films back and put together and put them out, but there hasn't really been any word on it since. So what happened was the Star Wars community basically said, screw it, and they took their old laser discs of the original trilogy and converted them over and did the best job they could of bringing them up to modern day standards for, you know, definition and whatnot, and put it up online for free. And because those versions of the movie were not in distribution, there's technically nothing that Disney could do to tell them to stop.
Well, also too, 20th Century Fox still owns Star Wars, the original one. Like it's a weird gray area because that's a Fox movie that I guess Lucas can license and do all the shit he wants to, but that's like their own movie. But
Well, they own the distribution rights to it, is what it is.
yeah, well, it's like but it's basically like a Fox Studio movie, like any like Alien or something like that. It's in the same vein. It's not like as much as like Empire would be, but there are whatchamacallit, Technicolor prints of Star Wars that exist that go out every once in a while. They're not owned by Lucasfilm, and they're real weird about it. But there are like every once in a while they have these private screenings of these like pristine Technicolor prints of Star Wars. They could always scan one of those in and convert it to 4K or 8K or whatever, you know, the highest resolution possible, and really, really milk Star Wars. I don't know if I believe the whole myth that he destroyed the prints or the negatives, because you've heard the whole Library of Congress story too, right? And how he lied to him.
No.
I haven't heard that one, no.
Yeah, that movie, Star Wars, was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry. So they requested a copy of the original one, and he sent them, I think he sent them a special edition, and they denied it. So it's on Wikipedia, that story. Check it out. But yeah, he's weird about it. The 97 cut of Star Wars is kind of shitty.
Oppressitron, I saw your other super chat. You asked about the bottle of wine I bought at Disney World. I bought a bottle of Skywalker wine. They all watched me do it on a live stream. Haven't had it yet. I'm going to save it until I don't have any work to do. Me and my wife are going to split it. I think she might be willing to do a live stream. You can meet my wife, and we'll both talk about the wine. And if it's any good, it should taste like George Lucas's feet. And Oppressitron, thank you for Canadian $2. Gungans also live on Rory, though that's not canon. Do you know about that?
I'll admit I don't read anything expanded universe anymore.
Like I said, it's no longer canon anymore. But yeah, there were Gungans on other planets. I think it was even detailed in some of the Saga Edition RPG stuff, as far as what races were on what planets and yada yada. But that's all stricken from the canon now, so it doesn't really matter.
Don't worry, they'll bring it back when they need to milk it for another movie. Like, dude, everything from the Solo movie has milked from other better stories.
Yeah, I mean I'm telling you, I'm calling it right now. The climax of the movie is going to be the Kessel Run.
Because Disney can't come up with something original. It's just got to be shit referenced in another movie. Like, even George Lucas is guilty of that, though. I mean, the line "The Clone Wars" was just a passing line in the first Star Wars movie, and then it became like a 5-year TV show.
I'm excited about this TV show coming up, man. I'm pretty excited about it. Well, the new one that's going to be directed by the guy from Swingers.
Oh, Jon Favreau?
Yeah, Jon Favreau. Yeah, he's directing this new TV show. We're going to have a weekly Star Wars program. We're going to be so busy. We're going to be so busy. I don't know how I'm going to keep up with this.
Your sanity is going to be the thing I'm going to worry about. I mean, people are already starting to call you the Rose Tico Whisperer.
Yeah,
Rose
by the
Tico
way, somebody asked about the Rose Tico cocktail that we created. And if I have the recipe, I do have the recipe. I shared it on yesterday's live stream. It's basically a Rob Roy with orange juice and one other ingredient. But I'll I don't know what I'll do. I'll make a video about it just so you guys know. If you want to try a Rose Tico cocktail, it was orange and it was bitter and it was short, and that is the guy did a great job. He did a great job. Yeah, you can call me Daddy Tico if you want to. That's fine. By the way, we've done this. I mean, we have single-handedly rescued Rose Tico and made her into a super meme, like a beloved meme. She has gone somehow from the most despised character in any Star Wars film, I into something else. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but people feel this kind of aggressive love-hate kind of thing for Rose Tico now. And I get people sending me pictures of themselves buying shopping carts full of Rose Tico action figures now.
They're trying to
And they
save
ask-
Toys R Us. That's what's going on. They don't care
Maybe
about
that's
Rose.
what
They
it
care about
is.
Toys R Us.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
But I mean, it's like they ask me,
what if
what am I
Rose
supposed
Tico
to do with
Now
these?
becomes like the most bought figure because of Artist Pro Secrets.
I'd be honored.
Oh God, he's going to be responsible for giving them a Rose Tico, for making them think we should make a Rose Tico movie.
I think
want
5
Kelly.
people will see that one.
I want Kelly Tran's autograph, and I want it right now. I'm going to mail her a letter. I'm going to send her a letter, and see if I can get her autograph. I think I deserve it at this point. I have done so much to rehab that character's reputation, and if she is in Star Wars 9, which is also known as Star Wars Chapter 11, because it is the 11th movie, so it is at the point when I expect Star Wars to be completely creatively bankrupt. So it is ironically Star Wars Chapter 11. If she's in there, I want her to thank me personally.
Well, you do have the connection, so make it happen.
Is your family starting to get jealous about how much attention you give to Rose Tico?
I think you would have to ask my wife that, and and maybe in an honest moment, she would say maybe a little, maybe a little. I mean, she understands. There are Rose Tico action figures all over the house. By the way, the Rose Tico black figure, have you seen it?
Sadly,
No,
Like, look at it again. I'm so used to the cute,
I have
like,
to look this up.
oh my God.
I'll send you a link. Hold on.
I've
The
already got to Google.
Black figure? Is it like a blackface figure?
Black Series.
A black Rose Tico figure that with black. That would be hilarious.
I'd buy 10 of those.
I would too. The Black Series, they're the larger. I think they're the 6-inch figures. They're more posable. They have more joints. And the ones that I usually buy are the 3 3/4 figures. Okay, they're the ones that are jointed like the old Kenner toys. I prefer those. I want those in my collection. The black figure is really weird. I'm used to the 3 3/4 Rose figure now. I have a million of them. I've cut them in half with scissors. I really feel acquainted with them. But I busted out the Black Series figure. Her chest is literally concave. Like, it's not that she doesn't have any boobies.
Really, boobies?
Like, it's not that boobies. It's not that she doesn't have any boobies. Women actually like that word. You can call them boobs, but women actually giggle when you call them boobies. You don't call them anything else. It's not like she doesn't have any. She doesn't have lungs. Like, they actually caved in her chest on that action figure. It goes inwards.
Okay, so I'm looking at a couple of the various action figures for the character, and I see one here from when she was dressed up in the First Order, and I'm looking at all the other ones that came out. The only one in which she actually has a chest is when she's in the First Order uniform. I mean, they go out of the way on the box art to even put her arms in front of where her tits would be, to just desexualize this character as much as possible.
I'm astonished by it. The more I look at her, I'm just like, is there a woman underneath there? And you don't have to be like fit. I mean, women say things like, well, look, not everyone is a perfect 10. Like, women can look however they want. Yeah, but women have curves, and it doesn't matter if you're a little overweight. You still look like a woman. You still have curves, you're still shaped like a woman.
Not Ray.
I've seen some women in Florida that would deny that logic.
Is that true? Oh, I don't know. But anyway, I don't understand. With Rose Tico, they literally like threw sackcloth over her to like cover.
It's a potato sack, dude.
Potato sack. Any curves that she might have under there. It makes me all the more curious. It makes me want to explore Rose Tico.
You have the creepiest voice when you say that.
Is this going to turn into like your Snoke video where you'll get like a huge dressable Rose Tico and all of a sudden it gets slow-mo and the music kicks in
Did you like that? That was great.
It took me like 45 minutes to watch that video because I had to keep pausing it because I was just laughing too goddamn hard.
If I had the opportunity, if they made a Rose Tico that was dressable, I would absolutely do that. I would.
Force for diversity dolls. You never know.
Yeah. Ooh. Why haven't they done that?
Because they want to make money.
Yeah, I will say this about going to Disney World. There was no Tico. However, like I went to all the stores, and I brought my camera. I was live streaming. If I wanted any Rose Tico merchandise at all, like I wanted a mug so I could drink out of her fucking head, but they didn't have a Rose Tico mug. The only thing that they had was her costume and her necklace. All right. That was in a museum area that I was not aware of. Somebody sent me a photograph of it. They said if you had just gone over here, you would have been able to see Rose Tico's actual potato sack. And
You need to go to
on
Florida.
one hand, her short pudginess does kind of match. I mean, she is a mechanic after all.
yeah. Well, that's what she's supposed to be. She can fix anything. So fix me a fucking sandwich.
She didn't fix anything in the goddamn movie, though. She's like the worst mechanic.
She broke more shit than she fucking fixed. It's the worst mechanic ever.
I love Finn trying to sacrifice himself. You know what I mean? It's like, this is noble sacrifice. And she's like, I mean, it's like, and she just comes in there. Like, you let that thing make that decision. You know what I mean? It's like you put your kids in charge of like the family budget. That's what happened right there. You let Rose Tico decide whether or not you're going to make this sacrificial move that could save the galaxy. Absolutely amazing. And she just gets out like, what would you do at that point? You have to punt her like a football across. I mean, like, what did you do, Rose? What did you do?
That
We're
poor woman.
We got a super chat.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Hang on 1 second. We have a super chat from Rhino4563. By the way, my wife yells at me when we miss the super chats. Have to read them all. She's like, you have to read them. They're giving you money to read these super chats. So we have to pay attention. All hail the High Council, says Rhino4563. Must add Jeremy. I think you're talking about Geeks and Gamers. We did reach out to him. He's busy tonight. Okay. So maybe next night. I did invite him when I saw him in Florida. He said, oh yeah, anytime. But when he said anytime, he meant anytime, but actually Tuesday. He's busy. And of course, Freddie Prinze Jr. Can you tell me about Freddie Prinze Jr. and what the problem is? Because I missed that.
Sure. Real quick, though, folks, by the way, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, I have a live stream with Mauler, so you might not want to miss that one. We're going to talk about all kinds of shit, because the last one had like 60,000 views. Freddie Prinze Jr. is not a relevant star anymore. If you were alive in the 90s, which most of you should be, he was on all those crappy teen drama films, and then he kind of faded off into obscurity. And like all irrelevant actors do, they start doing voice work. Freddie Prinze Jr. does voice work for Star Wars Rebels. And he decided to take to Twitter and talk shit to the fans that don't like The Last Jedi or The Force Awakens. So I made a shill video about him and called him out, and we're waiting to hear back from him.
What did he say?
Oh God, hold on. I'll pull up the screenshots in a moment. Let's just say Sittiger won. How much longer before EVS asks his wife to dress up like Rose Tico for bed?
How do you know I haven't?
you probably shouldn't.
I'm just saying. You guys make a lot of assumptions. I wouldn't assume anything.
Okay, so let's see. Freddie Prinze Jr., what did he say? Because I have screenshots of all this from the video. So he said, I just read a tweet to Pablo Hidalgo complaining about a young Han Solo not looking or sounding like Harrison Ford. And then some fans started to call him out on that. And he basically goes on to say stuff like, to be offended by a Star Wars treat is to lack every ounce of self-confidence a human could have. Laugh at clowns. That's what they're for. And then he says shit like, if it hurts your feelings, then whether you are not, you are. If it doesn't, congratulations, you're an adult who doesn't whine about fictional movies, in reference to people not liking the new ones. And he just keeps going on about how awesome his life is and how shitty people that dislike Star Wars are. He calls them angry, out-of-shape white guys. But then somebody shares a video from that Star Wars girl who is an Indian girl, and she shits on The Last Jedi, but he ignores that one because it doesn't fit his narrative.
Oh,
when he calls... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, when he calls us angry, out-of-shape white guys, that just Never mind. That's what I am.
That's him in the future, though. He's old. He's white. He's not. I don't really know much about Freddie Prinze Jr. He sucked then. He sucks now. Fuck
Well,
the.
he's already
Scooby-Doo
angry.
movies.
He's literally talking about himself.
Yeah. He keeps going on. Oh, I'm married to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah, you are, dude. You did one good thing in life, and you somehow got her to marry you. Like, other than that, your career's a joke. You're a joke. She's the good one in the relationship.
Wasn't he
She
in
sure
Dawson's
is.
Creek or whatever that crap show was?
What show?
Dawson's Creek or something?
Oh no, that was James Vanderbeek.
Oh, James Van. Okay.
I love James
They're the same
Vanderbeek,
guy.
ironically.
They're the same guy.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, big Trump supporting Republican. So I wonder how she feels about this.
She's
wonder how
probably
she
being
feels
relevant.
She probably understands that he's towing the party line. I mean, so many of these actors, I think, are just saying what they know the studio or the directors want them to say. We've got evidence of this. We've seen examples of people just saying, no, screw it, I'm tired of it. And we see what happens to Republicans in Hollywood. Like, look at Kurt Russell and Clint Eastwood, for example. I mean, they've basically been blacklisted as far as getting into movies really goes.
Do you think so? Is that true?
I don't know. Clint Eastwood does pretty much whatever he wants.
Kurt Russell was in Guardians too last year.
Funds all this stuff.
By the way, Cecil just sent me a message. He's being really annoying. He's like, great chat. I might sit this one out. You really don't need me.
The people have spoken, though, Cecil. People have demanded you for the first hour. People were like, or however long we've been on, people have wanted Cecil.
I don't know why. I don't know what.
People like a train wreck, Ethan. They want to watch shit go off the rails and catch fire, and that's what Cecil will do for us tonight.
I'm bring in Cecil.
Yeah, that's if that were true.
I want to hear more from Weaponized Nerd Rage. I feel like that guy's got a lot of good stuff to say.
Okay, you could stop begging now.
There he is.
Cecil, welcome. I'm glad to have you here tonight. Do appreciate
Speak
your
of the
presence.
devil
How are
and
you?
he shall.
Yo, turn off your
Bit of an echo
radio,
there.
dummy. You're gonna hear me say it to you again. What on earth? Every time.
All right,
Oh
there
my
we go.
god. You know what? I mean, it's just. All right. How you doing, Cecil?
I'm gonna stop making noise now. What? Just one more thing. That was a bother. Okay.
Where's the ice? Yeah.
There we go.
Cecil has arrived.
Yeah, Cecil is the C-3PO of the High Council. He is in a lot of ways. He's here to help, but he's sometimes he can be more trouble than he's worth. Everyone loves him. He is iconic, just like C-3PO, and there's no other resemblance. That's where it ends.
I love when Cecil first started, because I don't know if you guys followed his channel like in the early days, but everybody swore to God that he was like some diehard SJW who was coming to bring down diversity in comics by abusing the YouTube algorithms because they had a similar name. I'm like, guys, do you not see the acronym?
Well, we thought it meant something else. We thought that it was. Never mind.
That's still
They just meant penis.
Yeah.
Hey, we got two big super chats. First from Rax the Hero. I think Cecil sat out waiting to find the most annoying way to enter. I love Cecil. I hope they get him to be in the eventual C-3PO movie. And then secondly, let's watch. Last one for tonight. You guys are awesome. Hey, Uncle Ethan, any chances of you doing a commentary for The Last Jedi with the camera pointed at your face?
Yeah, people have asked me that question, and I just don't want a camera pointed at my face while I'm in pain. Like, my face is silly enough. Like, you want to see me like sucking lemons? I mean, that's my face when I'm watching that movie. So probably not.
I mean, I will help you. I swore I'd never watch that film again. But I mean, if you need backup, World Class Bullshitters will be there for you.
Yeah, we both watch it together. Maybe a High Council stream where we're all watching The Last Jedi.
We were
There's
gonna do.
have to be alcohol involved in that.
Oh, I got a bottle of Crown Royal on reserve. Trust me, I'm ready.
Mm.
Now this is another super chat from TSR I can't even Revolution 1988 Part 2. Hearing your guys live stream and watching your videos is a nice break from making conspiracy videos. Never stop spreading the truth from one truther to another. World class bullshitters. That pork video had me in tears. Thank you, name that I have butchered. I made that video like I made that back in November and nobody watched it. And I spent a lot of money to make that, so I put it up so people would watch it again.
By the way, 899 people watching right now.
905 on my screen.
Oh, I'm
905 here, too.
behind.
911 now. Woo! Speaking of truthers.
Speaking of conspiracies,
This comes from Ivan Neves. Jeff, did you see the live stream Tico and the slave girl outfit? I sort of regret asking for it since my Asian girlfriend got pissed at me for laughing.
that drawing is on eBay right now. So if you wanted to get even more pissed, go to Cyberfrog9 on eBay. That is my eBay channel, and you can bid on Rose Tico pencil sketches, including that one by me, Ethan Van Skyver, Comic Artist Pro Secrets. Good luck to you. Good
In
luck.
Rose Tico, we trust.
Sort of.
I don't.
Yeah.
I like Rose Tico.
Rose Tico or C-3PO, Cecil? Gun to your head, pick one.
You mean sexually?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, I've had every woman I've ever been with sexually has given me the exact same face Rose Tico always has on. So I'm very used to that. And I kind of have grown accustomed to it. So I would go for.
Oh my god. God, these super chats are rolling into Pressitron. Whenever I try to picture Cecil based on his voice, all I get is Dom DeLuise circa Cannonball Run.
That's what he wants you to think.
It's pretty damn close, I gotta tell you. I wish it wasn't.
Kevthar
I want to be
1138. You want to be Burt Reynolds? Is that what you said?
Yeah, who wouldn't want to be?
I want to be Burt Reynolds.
Yeah. What do you think? You think I want to be Dom DeLuise? Give me a fucking break.
One more from Kevthar1138. I would weep with laughter if EVS and Jeff made the council watch The Last Jedi, and Cecil would never ever join that night. I'll do it if Cecil does it.
A live commentary track for The Last Jedi. I mean, it's a possibility. It seems like inevitably that's where this is all going. Well, we all have energy towards that movie. We all have things to say, so maybe we will.
Okay, so where was the conversation at?
Rose Tico slave drawing currently bidding at $271. So
Woo!
basically, yeah, just a pencil drawing of Rose Tico almost naked. $271. Well, I never knew. I don't know why I was drawing Green Lantern for so long. I would just be drawing Kelly Tran naked and rolling in it. Rolling in the money. I didn't.
Yeah. Well, sometimes life throws you a curveball, and look where you are now. Did you ever think a year ago that you'd be on YouTube talking about some pudgy Asian woman in a potato sack?
Oddly, yes, I did. I was pretty sure.
Okay, disturbance in the
The
force.
prophet of our time.
McKinney 90, thank you for $5. We've got the Titans all here. Awesome. So everybody wanted Cecil here. Everybody. By the way, Captain Cummings is currently rocking it on his YouTube channel. For those of you who are just joining us now, and I'm showing 910 people, I'm sure that I'm way behind. But for those of you that are here with us now, Captain Cummings is in the Navy. He was serving his country proudly overseas, over in the UAB. No, the UAE.
United Arab Emirates.
Were you in Dubai?
Yes. Very, very good city.
It is. It's beautiful there. And let me tell you something. He is back. He's back. He's making his videos again. He's fighting the power with us. We are so pleased. I think we are. Are we the first to live stream with you? You've probably hooked up with other YouTubers since you've been back, but you've only been back for like less than a week, right?
Yeah. It's been about a week, and I did a live stream with Brett Smith and John Malin for the Jawbreakers, and that was fun. And
let's mention that. Tell us about Jawbreakers.
Well, it's Diversity in Comics baby, and it's doing great. It's almost up to 150. Needs that push to get there, though. So, going back that or whatever.
Yeah,
Please do. 'Cause
we've got.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. It needs to beat Alt Hero. Because I've been saying I won't be like legitimately surprised at Jawbreaker's success until it beats the hell out of Vox Day's Alt Hero. Because that thing was basically just a pack in disguise. And can you imagine the look on Vox Day's face when Diversity in Comics, the guy he has shit talked so much, whips the hell out of his little Kickstarter thing? That would be early Christmas for me.
Yeah, I don't know if it can do it though. We've got one more day. We've got one more day on this thing at this point, and he's going to push it. I know Zach is going to push it tomorrow. Here's the thing, guys. So there's a YouTuber named Diversity in Comics. He goes by the name Zach, and he criticizes comic books and the SJW influence therein, and it is poisonous and toxic. Those of us who love comics, we know their presence, we despise their presence, and they have said over and over again in response to his criticism that he couldn't do it. I mean, is this a case of those who can't do teach, or what exactly? And he responded by setting up an Indiegogo to promote a comic book that he is writing. John Malin from Cable Marvel Comics is drawing it, and Brett R. Smith from Thump, the first 100 Days, is coloring it. He set this Kickstarter up, or this Indiegogo up, for one single comic book, and he has raised to date nearly $150,000 for a
And
single
it's currently
comic
the
book.
number 4 highest selling graphic novel if you go and include it in all the monthly sales for this month. It's outpaced almost everything.
Now, those of you who feel it in your heart, who are irritated by The Last Jedi and the SJW influence of that film, who may or may not be in comics, may be feeling a little bit seasick from the influence of SJWs in comics, man, make a stand. Whip out your checkbook, your metaphorical checkbook. Go to Indiegogo and donate. Pledge to his campaign. Pledge to say, hey, it's a new day. It's time to make comics for us again. It's time to make comics for people who just want escapist entertainment and not what I consider to be racist, pandering to identity politics concerns. I mean, real comics again, where we take you on a trip. Go and donate $25. Go donate $50 and be proud of yourself.
Well, even speaking of donations, you got one right here. Do you ever slip up and call your wife Rose when you're together? And that comes from DJ Ray.
I'd better not. That would suck. She'd be like, "Who's Rose?" I'd be like,
You
know
would
that
be
action
on the couch
figure
for the next 3 years.
Like,
and
who's
then
Rose? You know that action figure that I have 50 of? Oh, that's Rose.
it just makes me laugh that you paid full price for those, and I found those for $1.
If I found them for $1, I'd buy them all. I paid full price for like 9 of them, and then I got some for $4 from Walmart. But I'm telling you, if I see $1 on a Rose Tico toy, I am. Yeah.
Everything that you review, like your new Han Solo Boba Fett video, I got that for $1.
How do you do that?
I'm really good with money. No, I got lucky.
Kroger's.
Yeah, Kroger's based out of Cincinnati, so they every year around Christmas they get tired of Star Wars shit, so they just clearance it to get rid of it.
I love that. Nurkish apologizes. He says it was a long day and he's about to hit the hay. I can do it next week if you're interested. I'm just going to tell him he's fired. You're fired.
Fuck you, Nurkish.
And you're fired, ho. I'm going to call him a ho.
Well, while you're breaking his heart, we have another super chat. This one comes from Besker Armor. Do you guys think Disney wants to fire Kathleen Kay but is afraid of the SJW backlash?
Yes.
Just talking about this too.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, Disney's very, if you don't give us our profit, you're going out the window. And we saw the revenue drop between Last Jedi and Force Awakens. And it's pretty safe to say there's going to be another revenue drop with whatever the hell they end up calling Episode 9. And the fact that, again, that the toys are just not selling. I mean, the people are joking that Toys R Us went out of business because the Star Wars toys sold like crap, but I'm pretty sure it probably was a big hit. So they're not making their money back on this movie because Hollywood, when they talk about whether or not a movie is successful, they factor merchandising into that. So that's, kind of illustrates why Last Jedi is a big flop. You see those toys all over the place because they wasted money all on that merchandise that has not moved. So, but they are the kind of company that's going to give you a chance to fix yourself up and make it right and tell you this is what you need to do. This is how you need to be. But if they keep going the course they're going, I think they certainly will fire her, but they'll try and mask it as a, like a parting ways over creative differences or something like that, because they don't want the bad press that they know they will get.
I think it's going to be one of those things where it'll be after, film 9. And if that one doesn't do it, then, you're gone, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, all this, the Force is female bullshit, it doesn't matter. It only matters if, people are saying, oh, it doesn't matter that Avengers Infinity War has overtaken Star Wars. They're both Disney. Yeah, but you see, this is the thing. Like, Marvel should never be overtaking Star Wars. It doesn't matter to Disney that they own both properties. Star Wars should be forever competitive with everything. It should be in the lead of everything. And if Kathleen Kennedy can't keep the Star Wars franchise ahead of the Marvel franchise, we have to fire Kathleen Kennedy and get someone in here who can.
They're both two different companies, even if the bigger company is Disney.
That's correct.
They are. They're children. They're child companies. But here's the cool thing: Infinity War hasn't even opened in China yet, and it's already set to blow past the Star Wars movies' revenue take with their China numbers included. Because Last Jedi got like nothing.
Yeah, it got kicked out of the country in 9 days.
Yeah, it lost to a movie that was running in its 3rd week and was the 3rd movie in the series and was created in China. Typically, the American movies do a lot better in China. And it was historic.
McKinney90, thanks for $5. All we need is your boy Zach and Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers, and we basically have the Avengers right here. LOL.
Man, Keeney, who's who? Like, if you had to break us down as each Avenger, who would represent which character? I'd be interested to hear that.
Well,
what do you
think? I'd be Thor.
Because Captain Cummings is Doctor Doom.
That's true.
I would be C-3PO.
Technically, he's a Marvel character in the book, so there you go.
He's a crossover. Doom's a good guy. Whatever.
Yeah. Midnight Cherry TV. Thanks for $2. This is the perfect council to talk Superman 2 with Cecil.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna need more than $2 because we're not gonna.
Cellophane S.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later.
No, he got his ass kicked by an old man trucker. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? So that means if that trucker was given the powers of Superman, he would mop the fucking universe with claws. Get out of here. It was so stupid. He's 6'4" and 250 pounds, and this old trucker hits on Lois, and then he kicks his ass. Sorry.
I'm so glad you're a part of this show.
Well, I'm glad you are.
I'm just curious why the hell he doesn't have a stand-up career.
I hate standing.
Good answer. Everyone loves Cecil. Everyone
by the
loves
way,
him.
I wanted to say the reason I have a channel. I do have a channel, by the way, even though I have no subscribers. No, I have some, but not like you guys. You guys are titans, but I'm just a nobody. But the reason I do have a channel is because of Captain Cummings. He, when I first got into comic books, I was looking on YouTube for comic book channels, and I found this guy, and he had like a sheet hanging behind him in a basement. He looked like a psychopath, and immediately I felt the connection.
To be honest, Cummings was one of the people who got me to start mine as well. It was really Cummings and Doug. Because I saw that Cummings was just so chill in the videos. He was just kind of sitting there.
speaking as if he was to somebody else. I'm like, yeah, that seems like it'd be a lot of fun. I definitely want to throw my hat into this party.
Is Captain Cummings dying, by the way? And we just don't know it. Like, why are we all tributing Captain Cummings? It's like Captain Cummings. This is everybody's eulogizing him at this point. Captain, are you okay?
That's
Jesus
not me.
Christ, Cecil.
What's going on? Is there a storm? Or
That's not me, by the way.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
I guess we should change the title of tonight's High Council.
Somebody was
way too overwhelming. You guys gotta stop.
who was wrestling a grizzly bear.
Sorry, my mic fucked up.
Oh,
Hey, Oppressitron says if Cecil was any Marvel character, he'd be the bad guy's parrot from Iron Man 2. Hey, I got a question for Captain Cummings. So I watch your videos, and you always talk about the Avengers. Were you happy with the newest movie?
Oh, I loved the newest movie. It was great. I mean, there's things I didn't like. I guess I've watched it twice. I watched it in Dubai, and I watched it. I told my son if he mowed the lawn, I'd take him to it. So I took him to that, and I liked it the second time. You know, I thought knowing what was going on, I wouldn't like it, and it's still good. You know, so I don't know. It's a good movie.
Oh, I enjoyed the hell of it. I just know that I'm pretty sure you're the guy that has like the entire run of the Avengers, right?
Yeah, I got it.
I mean, I have that goal for the Amazing Spider-Man. I'm not that far off from it, but I'm not that close either. But
that one's even harder, I think, because it's Spider-Man.
well, I got 75% of the original, like all the Amazing runs, so I'm not too far off. It's just the expensive issues that I don't have the money for.
Yeah.
You know, $1 million for Amazing Fantasy number 15 is out of my wheelhouse right now.
Well,
I can lend it to
my
you.
Avengers number 1 isn't like it's like I think it was like a 4.5 or something, but it's purple label, so that's basically the money dropper on that, and takes it down to like $1,000 or something like that. And I sold half my comic collection to get it.
Oh.
Didn't you show that one off in your Jack Kirby tribute video?
Probably. I'd have to go back and watch it.
Speaking of that, how do you feel, Cummings, about triggering Jerry Conway into the most epic Twitter Spurg fest with your picture of the Beretta?
I mean, what's funny about the Beretta was I was just like, oh, this will be like a cringy tweet. So I tweeted, and I tweeted at like IDW and all the companies, you know. And then like I see Jerry Conway talking.
Captain Cummings, hold on. Explain everything, because these people don't know. So give everything context and explain it carefully.
So it was New Comic Book Day, and I have just gotten off deployment, and I had planned to go buy a gun, and it was New Comic Book Day, and so I go to the local store and I pick out a gun that I want to buy, and I go, oh, I'll tweet a picture of it, and since it's New Comic Book Day, I'll tell all the comic book companies, hey, if you guys did a better job of making comic books, this could have been your money. So I do that, and then I read Jerry Conway is like spurging out about something. I don't remember exactly. He says, if you buy my comics and you don't like my politics, you can burn them. So I go, okay. And I direct, somebody else also says, what comics did you shoot up? And so I say, I at Jerry Conway, his comics, because he just said you could burn them. I guess apparently he didn't put those two together, and he started like going off about it. And it was pretty funny, actually.
He's so old.
Well, they took your gun as like the fact that you bought a gun as a sign that you were threatening someone, or you were, maybe unstable and you needed to be reported. Like people were, I saw somebody like threatening to report your Twitter over that.
Oh, that one dude, the guy that owns the comic book store in California.
Yeah, it's really stupid. Like people don't understand. No, it's just people are allowed to have guns in this country. The mere presence of a gun is not an implied threat when it's not pointed at you. When I got my gun for my birthday, I got a Glock 9. Glock 9 is an ordinary gun. I was showing it off. I was on my Facebook. Oh, look at my gun. It wasn't a threat. It was just like, this is my possession, and I'm proud to own it. Isn't this a great acquisition?
Yeah, I went to the store and I go, hey, this Beretta looks just like the gun that I shoot in the military. That means it's more familiar. That's the one I want, you know? Not a big deal.
I'm having like the weirdest mental freak out because EBS has a Glock and you just bought a Beretta. I need to seriously get you guys in a range and give you some quality firearms to play around with.
Well, what's your definition of quality?
Okay, Colt 1911s are amazing. The IWI Jericho, the IWI Masada that's coming out soon is going to be incredible. The SIG P320 post-safety recall with the standard military trigger because the other one wasn't drop safe. BCM, you can't go wrong with BCMs. I mean,
what about the Desert Eagle? What if I bust out a Desert Eagle? Would you be like, wow, that's nice? And it had an eagle on it. And say, God bless America. Right around.
If it was the old school Desert Eagles, I would tell you, you got to get the new one. But if you had the new one, I would bow down and praise your choice in firearms.
All right, good. That's all I wanted.
Real quick, we missed a super chat from Blue Herring.
I have a gun too.
Oh God, that's dangerous.
That scares me.
Not a handgun because in New York it's really hard. But I have an over-under shotgun because I competitively shoot trap. And it's a Franchi. It's an Italian Franchi. It's a very nice gun.
Oh, you can't go wrong with those.
I was raised shooting trap and skeet.
Nice.
Oh,
I thought you were
that.
gonna say. I thought you were gonna say you had a.
Bet you didn't know that.
Well, now we know. We're impressed.
The
Mr. P Channel, thank you for $2.
I'm not talking drinking, so I'm getting really fucked up.
But can I read this guy's super chat, Cecil? Please shush. All right, now the Mr. Pete Channel. Thank you for $2. Uncle Evan, please draw KK and Ula fishnets next. Okay, well, KK refers to Kathleen Kennedy. We'll see.
Please
see.
don't.
Thank you for your super chat. I'm gonna have to.
We missed another super chat from Blue Herring. He says, I'm going to a comic book store for the first time. Any of you in the stream have any series recommendations for a complete newcomer?
Or
Something that's like active or something that's, completed?
Squirrel Girl.
No.
No.
I like that one.
I mean, if you've never been to a comic book store, I don't normally advocate for the trade paperback collections, but you should get yourself like maybe a Long Halloween because that'll seem familiar to you if you like The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah,
it could ease you into reading Batman comics.
My favorite Batman story.
Is it?
Yeah, because it goes all year and it encompasses one villain and then also a bunch at the same time.
We studied that in college. When I went to Michigan State, I took a class in comic book study. We almost had Jeff Johns come to school. Like that was like the thing they were trying to work out, but it never happened. So I left heartbroken from Michigan State.
The chat is loving the fact that Cecil shoots trap.
No, he shoots traps.
Are traps good?
Yeah, that's the question.
Somebody asks me that every week on the podcast, and I don't know how to respond.
The answer is yes.
Okay.
It's a state of mind. It's up to you.
I always say no because it triggers the hell out of everybody.
You can't say no. I mean, that just it is. If you have a wiener and it has a wiener. Okay,
it's only gay if you do
math.
one of three things. 1, if balls touch. 2, if eyes make contact. Or 3, if you call them back the next day. If you avoid those 3 things, you are in the clear.
I know this one thing. From Harold and Kumar, it's not gay if you're getting your dick sucked or your D sucked. But you're gay if you're sucking D.
Why did we not get another one of those movies?
I thought three was a solid trilogy. Ethan, two super chats. First off, somebody paid $20. Please do not draw KK fishnets. That comes from Bryce Brierly. I can make this into a monthly payment if needed.
You're all gonna have to pay up $20. Everyone in the chat, or it's happening. It's happening. Let's start extorting people. That I never thought of using my powers for evil that way. Like, we get everyone in the chat, we get 1,000 people in the room, and then I start to draw Kathleen Kennedy, like, I don't know, on all fours with a dog collar, and then I won't stop until you.
Ethan, no, you're supposed to be a Green Lantern, not the red.
I would never do that. I won't use
By the
my
way,
powers that way.
He's not bad.
James Q631 says Diversity in Comics just hit 150K. Thank you, James.
Congratulations. Yeah, that is great, and we'll see where he lands. I'm guessing 175 tomorrow. I think he's gonna have a really big day tomorrow. By the way,
yes,
I'm projecting Solo's opening weekend at 340 million. If it doesn't make 340 million, it's a disappointment. It has failed. Now, this is twice as much as they are projecting. They are hopefully projecting 170 million. They're saying that's what it's tracking at. It will have failed if that's all it gets. 340 million. It's a Star Wars movie. It's the least it could do.
Austin Laverty gave $2 and says, I would like a commission of a slave rose. Custom one.
Nice.
And then Ivan Neve says, no, not Kathleen, and no, not Ray in a swimsuit. Anything that flat belongs in a dry cleaners. Damn ironing board. R.I.P. Admiral Akbar. It's a trap.
That was the best $5 Ivan ever spent. You got a lot in there.
Thank you, Ivan. Oh.
Yeah, Mortal V says, I'll bet Ethan draws The Last Supper with the usual suspects. The question is, who will replace Judas from so many choices? Cecil.
What?
Cecil.
Do you like
Very
Silver
simple.
Cecil?
I would be a Judas?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, if this were The Last Supper, I mean, you'd be,
I don't know.
Judas.
Are you Jesus, Ethan?
Yes.
Okay.
I would be Thomas then, because I doubt whatever the fuck you're saying.
You'd be Peter because you've denied me thrice, but you are Judas without question. World class bullshitters, comic artists, pro seekers. You wonder if Kelly Tran ever saw all of the videos you've done. What would her reaction be? LOL. So, what do you think Kelly Tran would say if she saw any videos that you did about her?
For mine, she would probably just be like, okay, this guy doesn't like me. The newest one with her on the toilet might make her uncomfortable, which would make me very proud.
Where was she on the toilet?
Okay, so I put out another one of my Star Wars toy videos this past week, which is kicking ass. And at the end, I needed a hook. So I was at my friend's house and I had this idea. So I basically filmed her. I took the Rose Tico figure, I taped it to the underside of the toilet, and I made it like a Nightmare on Elm Street parody. So Cecil, you should literally watch the last 15 seconds of my newest video, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. I'm quite proud of that. And if she saw that, she'd probably be very uncomfortable.
We completely skipped over the question about recommending good comic books.
Yeah, we should go back to that real quick. My choice or my recommendation is The Long Halloween.
I recommend Green Lantern Rebirth and Flash Rebirth.
Why?
They're just perfect. They're perfectly drawn. Dio Brando, thank you for $20. This perfect counsel to talk about assigned male. Cecil is Captain Meatspin in the Avengers. I agree with that. I didn't think of that. That's perfect casting. Well done, Dio Brando, and $20 well spent.
Somebody else just gave $20 in the super chat as well. Oh, never mind. That was Bryce Brierly from earlier. Sorry, mine is really slow right now.
Yeah, we covered that.
I have a recommendation since we were talking about recommendations.
Yeah.
I watched American Werewolf in London this week. I liked it.
John Landis is the man.
Great.
How do you feel about John Landis decapitating people with helicopters? Like, how do you feel about
It
that?
was an accident.
You don't know that.
He went on to give us such classics as Coming to America and Spies Like Us. So he recovered in my eyes.
Well, his actors didn't. He had. First of all, let's really think about this. How do you precisely aim a helicopter to decapitate 3 people perfectly? Boom, like that, just heads right off. Now, so it was
a good pilot.
A very good pilot. And where would you find such a good pilot? I'll bet find out if John Landis knows the best helicopter pilots in the world.
Well, it certainly wasn't Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Sorry.
I'm impressed what a garbage person Harrison Ford truly is in real life.
Did you guys ever hear Mark Hamill's story about Harrison Ford's flying?
No.
So somebody asked him at a convention, what was the 5 words that would strike fear into Mark Hamill? And so Hamill goes on this whole long, drawn-out build-up, and he says, but it ends, and that day then ends with Harrison Ford calling me on the phone and asking, "Hey, kid, let's go fly." And he does the most amazing Harrison Ford impersonation, and it pisses off Harrison Ford to no end.
Maybe Mark Hamill should dub Alden Ehrenreich in the new movie.
There you go.
I refuse to believe Harrison Ford is anything other than Indiana Jones. I think he's got to be. He got that earring.
I have a Harrison Ford story. And I was in. It was the summertime, 10 years ago or more, and I was in Central Park, and I was on a blanket, and it was thousands of people everywhere. And who's walking right through everybody, completely unrecognized? Harrison Ford. And right when he gets past me, I go, "No time for love, Dr. Jones." And then like 20 other people looked up, and everybody started rushing around him, and he gave me the dirtiest look. That's a true story. He was like, I almost made it fucking home unrecognized. And then this asshole had to yell, "Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones." But I did it. Whatever.
That perfectly describes everything about you. Distilling your essence down into one story. That's it.
Possibly.
By the way, Timothy Riggs sent a super chat of $2. I really want Uncle Ethan to go back to JL Flash.
Oh, to talking about the Flash from the movie? I don't have a lot to say about it. He just annoyed me. If he wasn't in the movie would be 100% better. He's stupid. He's effeminate. His running looked dumb.
Yeah.
He didn't look anything like the comic book character. One wonders why he was cast as Barry Allen in that movie. One has to wonder. Because he doesn't resemble him. Why?
Zack Snyder's an idiot. There's your answer why all these movies are shit. Zack Snyder is an idiot. If the Justice League film would have been made a decade ago, it would have been different.
I like Batman v Superman. I still have yet to see Justice League, but I liked Batman v Superman. I think he did a good job.
How did he do a good job? How was that Superman?
Well, it was a different Superman. I mean, that's the whole thing. These aren't adaptations, but I mean, what I liked about the movie was the imagery. Snyder, you gotta give it to him. He is an amazing visual director, and I think the high point of that movie was the Martha scene. I know that's the scene that everybody hates and everybody calls shit on that movie, but I think it was a great, because I saw it not as, "Oh my God, it's mommy's name." I saw it as Bruce Wayne, Batman, realizing that if he did kill Superman, he would be becoming Joe Chill. He would be making another orphan, mother who has to bury a child. It was kind of Bruce Wayne finally coming to terms with what had happened and shaking off the PTSD from his parents' murder.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it poorly. Martha! It's like, "Don't hurt Martha." I'm like, come on. There are a million other ways Ben Affleck could have played that thing. But no, it's Martha. Why'd you say that name? Like, I laughed my ass off in that movie.
I mean, I saw it like 4 times. Okay, and I admit the movie has its flaws. I do. It is not the perfect movie, but the more I watched it, the better it kind of got to me.
Somebody did a nice redub of the scene where Batman is beating the living shit out of Superman, and they overdubbed the John Williams Superman score. It's so funny. Dun, 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 dun. Superman's getting smashed into walls.
I'm so
That
glad
made the
that
movie
theme was-
good, and if that were in the movie, I would have preferred it.
Dude, the theme, they brought it back for Justice League, which makes me a little more lenient on the Justice League film. Like, I was happy to hear that theme.
Well, it was horrible, and I condemn that movie because people don't understand Superman. They don't understand Superman. I don't. There's no such thing as a different version of Superman. You can change his costume if you want. You can put a different actor in there, but the one thing that must remain consistent is Superman must never inspire fear in us, the viewer, ever. And if he does, if we're afraid of Superman, the movie failed. It's not Superman. Superman must always inspire confidence in us. We can worry for him as we watch him, fight against great odds. But we must always trust Superman and always know that he's on our side and that he would give his life for us. Superman is a mixture between Jesus Christ and Elvis Presley. And if you goof that up in any way, if you make him scowl, if you make him blow up police cars, beat up his friends, do any of the things that he did in the Justice League or Batman v Superman, it's not Superman. It's not
How many
Superman.
times has he done that, though, in iconic stories like Dark Knight Returns, and people love it?
Dark Knight Returns was an alternate reality tale, a possible future tale in which he was corrupted by the United States government. But that's not the Superman that we know. And you even say, I mean, it's like, who is Superman? Superman is the character from Christopher Reeve. Look, go back and watch Superman 1. That is Superman. You have to be happy to see him. You can't be on edge when Superman is on the screen. You can't worry that he's going to blast you with his eye beams because he's having a bad day. You can't worry that he's going to wrap your pickup truck around a telephone pole because you spoke to him in a way that was less than friendly. Superman just sucks that up. He knows he has the power to destroy us all, and he uses it respectfully and wisely. He is kindness and patience personified because he is Superman. And how
Unless
sad
it's Golden
is it?
Age.
How sad is it in this day and age that, like, we don't understand that being a Superman doesn't just mean being powerful and able to wrap trucks around flagpoles. It also means having the power to be patient, kind, and forgiving, to be lenient, to be forgiving and kind, and make good choices, be respectful, be a gentleman, be a super gentleman, and that's what Superman should be. So that's why those movies fail. They fail. I mean, if you're going to do a Superman versus Batman movie, the movie should be Batman doesn't trust Superman, and Superman is trying to stop Batman from killing him without killing Batman until Batman understands.
What happened with a Superman takes Rose Tico out on a date?
That would be hot. But he would, though. I think he would. I think he would. Look, he likes Margot Kidder, so it's not like he's going for looks.
Can
God
can I say something? In Superman 2, Margot Kidder, the part where the truck driver was hitting on her, she looked really good in that one part. She had red pants on that were very tight and it actually showed off her build, and she looked good. Go on.
Ethan, what you described basically is you want to see, what is it, Man of Steel issue number 2, where Batman says he has a bomb strapped to somebody in the city if Superman won't do something, and at the end of the story, you learned that he's the one with the bomb strapped to himself. You basically want that. Because I do. That sounds awesome. Or has anyone here seen the animated Batman Superman World's Finest movie? It's basically 3 episodes of Superman the animated series put together.
I have not seen that. No.
Oh, that is way better than. Do you have Amazon Instant?
What happens in it? Maybe I saw it. I pass out a lot.
Basically, it's the best story they've ever crossed over outside of a comic book. Bruce Wayne comes to Gotham, or Bruce Wayne comes to Metropolis to sign a deal with Lex Luthor, and the Joker comes to Lex Luthor because he needs money and offers to kill Superman for him. So basically, Luthor and the Joker team up against Batman and Superman, and Harley Quinn's there and Mercy's there. And I don't want to spoil it for you because for a cartoon, it's still pretty cool.
They
So-
should make that the movie. That would be more fun.
It would have been awesome. I've been watching it for 20 years. We have missed a whole bunch of super chats. Ivan Neve said, Divez Neves, I'm sorry I'm butchering your name. I apologize. I thought I was better with names. I'm not. I'd pay to fly with him. Whether when he asked about the weather or which runway is open, I would just like to roar with Chewie or say I have a bad feeling about this. Let's see, what other ones have I missed? Ambush Bob. Batman had miniguns on his car. He didn't care. It's true. Ooh, Rax
I
the
didn't
Hero.
see anybody bitching about that when Christopher Nolan did it in Dark Knight Rises.
Because it was a good movie.
No, it wasn't. Dark Knight Rises was a good movie. Are you serious?
It was the
Of course
best
it
of
was.
the three. It was the best of the three.
I've seen it 3 times. I went to see it 3 times in the theater. Dark Knight Rises. That was a completely awesome
Thank you.
Republican movie.
Thank-
That was a right-wing movie. I
Well,
dug it.
well, that's not no.
Well, it
that's
was.
not
It was a right-wing movie that maybe you missed the subtext of Dark Knight Rises. It's actually it was an anti-Obama film. Go back and look at it again.
I see what you did there. That was
Yeah.
genius.
That was the
Absolutely.
Jedi mind trick, whatever you fucking just did. It was a great
All right.
movie. I didn't see any Donald Trump in it or anything like that.
Well, Donald Trump wasn't around yet, but it
Well,
was
he was-
Oh,
definitely
he's 71
anti-Obama.
years old. Of course he was around.
This is why, Cecil. This is why you and me will forever be at loggerheads. But listen, no, it was anti. What's that stupid movement where people were,
I know you're talking
You know-
about the Wall Street
Oh,
one.
yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
I used to
Occupy
work
Wall
on
Street.
Wall Street. I used to
Occupy
work
Wall
on
Street. You have
I
to
didn't
be
like-
of the time and place, but that's what it was.
I didn't.
And
care
it was
for
anti-capitalist, and the movie wasn't, but the bad guys were, and it was substantial. It was a really, really great movie.
I'm
Batman
I
Begins
love
was
this
better.
Can I just say I'm left wing, but I didn't care for Antifa and I don't care for the Occupy because they don't have any sense of style. There's no they
I think
smell.
they do.
No, it's terrible. What's the style? White guys with
All
dreads
black.
no shower? No, it's bad style. It's a bad look.
You don't know
They
that
want to be
have
urban
dreads.
ninjas.
Yeah.
No,
I
They
think you should
cover
be
up their faces.
more angry about the fact that they stole the fashion from Anonymous,
Yeah.
who in turn stole it from V for Vendetta.
how do you know Anonymous stole it? They stole it from Anonymous. You don't know who they are.
Yes, I do.
You don't know who they are.
Well, hold on. We got
Stumper.
another one. Rax the Hero says I like DC more than Marvel.
Tope
WTV
Daddy
better.
told me to shut the fuck up. Fuck you. I'm sorry.
All
That's
right,
so funny to hear him say that in anger.
moving on. Bikini 90. Hearing you guys talk about Zack Snyder makes me wonder makes me wonder how these far left ideologues, SJWs, and feminists would react if Sucker Punch was made today. Did anyone see it when it first came out? So maybe the same way.
I haven't seen it now.
I like the
I'm with Cummings.
I like the trailer, and I want to keep it like that. The trailer was great. Sometimes you don't need. I wish I just watched the trailer for Suicide Squad. Some movies are just better as trailers.
Agreed.
Okay, so we've had 2 people say Cecil sounds like something. The first one said Cecil sounds like Donald Trump, and now they're saying you sound like Joe Pesci. I believe the Joe Pesci over Donald
Joe
Trump.
Pesci, closer to
there's-
the mark.
There's a gay Joe Pesci comment, so that's what they're saying now.
I get Stone Cold. Steve Austin a lot. People
Stone Cold.
What?
like if I'm on the phone with a telemarketer, sometimes they say that.
I think they
I
said you
would
sound
go
like
Mike
Liberace.
Tyson.
And
I would go
you're
Mike
wrong.
Tyson before Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Either one, they're both tough guys.
To prove the point, Ethan, that you made in your May the 4th video, Cecil, say 4th.
Fourth.
It sounds kind of like force, doesn't it?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, that's yeah. Thank you, Cecil.
I didn't come here to be analyzed or psychoanalyzed or vocally analyzed on any level.
Yes, you did.
I guess on some level I did.
Somebody wants you to say Cecil. Cecil, it sounds like steam is escaping. Can you say that?
Oh, that's a line from Blazing Saddles. That's a Dom DeLuise line. It's like, sounds like steam is escaping. Oh, I get it. All right, I sound a little faggy. Shut up.
Say Solo, a Star Wars story. It's the same thing. Solo, a Star Wars story.
Solo, a Star Wars story.
Yes, excellent. I love it.
Bingo.
Dio Brando says Cecil is more like Nathan Lane.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a common thread. There's a through line to all of
I wish I
these,
could get into Nathan Lane shape.
Is
You
what?
just have to do push-ups.
Yeah.
And eat a lot of chicken.
I could do that. I could do that.
Not fried chicken, Cecil.
So do we have anything else we want to cover tonight?
Yes, Zack Snyder did a good job with the Dawn of the Dead movie.
Yeah,
All right, well,
I'll go with that one.
Okay.
Because he was
Some
shitting
of
all
it.
over him. Everybody was shitting on him because I don't like this Man of Steel movies either. But he did good on what 300 he did. Is that him? He was good,
Yeah.
right?
That was a good
Did
movie.
he do Sin City or no? Was
No,
him?
that was Robert Rodriguez.
Oh.
No,
I
didn't he
love
do
Robert
part of it?
Rodriguez.
But
Huh?
he
I think
he
he
had
had
a
some
good
hand in
run.
it.
He had a good run.
I mean, what do you guys think of the Watchmen film?
Oh, not Ramon, if that's
All right.
Director's cut was better than the theatrical cut. Director's cut was really good.
You can't even get the theatrical cut on Blu-ray.
Man, it's just a bunch of bleak, too dark. Everything's too dark, and everybody's wearing leather, and they're jumping around in the rain. I can't stand the Watchmen. It's so boring. It's overlong and boring. It's
It was
tedious.
good.
It takes itself too seriously. Most of Zack Snyder's efforts are terrible. I mean, they're absolutely terrible. I will say Dawn of the Dead had its moments, but I mean, really, if you were to examine the whole film, it gets a little gross. It leaves you feeling a little grimy. It
Oh,
ends
Dawn
in
of
a
the
weird
Dead
way.
got gross. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Dawn of the Dead got gross.
No, it did.
What
The
the fuck did you
baby.
think it was Bambi?
No,
Well,
it's
well,
just
what
it's man's inhumanity to man. Like it's like these people don't understand how human
It's
beings are.
people getting
They
eaten
don't-
by dead people. What the hell were you expecting?
I want the people to be likable before they're eaten. I want to care that they're being eaten. I want to care. I don't want to hate them all and just wish that this would all end. Like hurry up and let the world end because these people are awful people. That weird zombie baby scene. I mean, what? I mean, and the slow motion of the bullet casing hitting the floor as they shoot the baby in the head.
That scene was really weird, yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, it starts out great. My favorite part of that movie is when she is leaving the suburban neighborhood in the beginning.
Yes.
My favorite,
that-
my favorite
with
scene in that movie is 40-Year-Old Virgin.
What?
40-year-old virgin.
They watched that movie in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh, really?
I haven't seen that movie in like a long time.
I've seen that movie once, and that was it.
Ethan is right. The opening scene with the Johnny Cash when the man comes to town was playing in the background, and it was an excellent, perfect opening scene. The little girl eats the husband. Good scene.
Yeah, and then you see the car. You're a bird's eye view of the car driving away, and you see a helicopter crash into. God only knows. It's really, really good. It feels like the end of the world. But then, the 28 Days Later movies came and kicked their asses. So I'm just saying that the first like 20 minutes of that movie are magical, and the rest of it makes you feel grimy.
You don't like the Get Down with the Sickness part by Richard Cheese, aka
That
That
is
was
Exactly the scene when the movie starts to turn to shit.
Yeah, you're not
I
kidding.
haven't seen that movie in a long, long time.
We did
The
a commentary for it here on our channel. So, folks, if you want to hear what we think about that movie at great lengths, just search through the archives.
The opening scene for 28 Weeks Later, the farm scene,
Best
that's the best zombie opening scene of all time.
I've said that before. Yeah, that is the single best. If you haven't seen 28 Weeks
probably
Later
heard
from
me say it.
2007, just watch the first 15 minutes of it, and it'll give you nightmares. It's the best, most aggressively terrifying zombie sequence because the zombies run and they're merciless.
When he's running across that field and you see hundreds of them coming over the hill, it's awesome.
Yeah, Cecil, what would you do? I mean, you don't do cardio every day. What would you do? If that, like, you think about that and you go, would I be able to do that? Could I run? Could I haul ass like that? By the way, leaving your wife behind, looking at her in the window, looking at you with utter betrayal and terror as you're running away from her, and then you just see hands pull her down, and you just keep running and try to get on a boat and get away. Terrifying movie.
You know, it's funny you should ask what I would do. This is why I like zombie movies, because I get to see what other people would do. I know myself would be killed in the first 5 minutes of a zombie apocalypse. So I'm very interested in what happens in the rest of the movie, because I know I'd be immediately eaten.
Well, not necessarily. Does your Walmart people mover like go fast enough? Does it go faster than people run?
It's called a Pride Mobility Scooter.
I always pictured you as a hover around guy myself.
This is you have to give it to Cecil though. Like, he is so on all the time. I mean, you know, he's awesome.
He really fucking doesn't have an off switch.
All right, well, guys, I'm getting sleepy. I'm ready to call it a night.
All right, well, let's do the outros then. So, Ethan, tell everyone about your channel real quick and say goodbye.
All right, so my channel is Comic Artist Pro Secrets, and it's all about drawing comic books, but it's mostly about Star Wars right now. I'm just really into talking about Star Wars and what's going on in Solo. Please do subscribe. Please do become a member of this community. We are fighting the power with my brothers, Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy, and World Class Bullshitters with Jeff. We're beating back Disney.
Yeah, it's a multi-man effort.
Yeah.
Captain Cummings, tell everyone about your channel.
Well, I just came back from deployment, like everybody said, and I had fun doing one video on Jerry, where he was, pun intended, triggered from me buying a gun. And also, one video that I was very happy to make was Jim Starlin, and how he was bringing to light how he didn't get a book that he wrote from Marvel. You know, a lot of the times when you write books, the publisher will send you a book for free. And this didn't happen, and that just like blew my mind, like how he didn't get that. And,
yeah, I meant to cover that myself, but it ended up slipping my mind, so I'm glad it didn't slip through the cracks on your end.
Yes, and the big thing is somebody actually told me that, because I missed it. So thanks to the people that are out there tell us this stuff. You know.
Weaponized Nerd Rage. Tell everyone about your channel as we play out.
As you said, I'm Weaponized Nerd Rage. I like to talk about comic books and video games and the whole ideologue BS that is infesting everything related to geek culture. But on top of all that, I also do videos about the Second Amendment and problems that pro-Second Amendment individuals are facing, like the death threat situation with Marion Hammer and all of the craziness that's coming out of CNN with it. But I also like to focus on, as I said, everything related to geeks and the SJW menace.
You should get in contact with Razor Fist, because I had a video of him and it was awesome. Maybe you guys should have a collaboration. He's pretty easy to talk to.
It's not the first time I've heard that, actually.
Well, make it happen, man. He's a cool dude. I talked to him for like 3 hours. You'll really enjoy it. Cecil, everyone's favorite High Council member.
Yes.
We have a super chat for you.
How am I a favorite? I have no subscribers. You guys have like 30,000 subscribers. I have like 15 people in a closet.
You know what, though? No one ever requests me on shit. People always request you on this show. Where's Cecil? Cecil.
I have a goddamn channel, and it's brilliant, by the way.
It is. It's incredible.
I've got to say, how about the woman that you get the comic books from? Have you gotten with her yet?
Have I gotten what?
You know what I'm saying.
Did you bang her, dude?
I'm missing something.
Did you go zoom in the boom boom?
Do I zoom in the boom boom? Sure. Why not?
Oh God.
But let me give him my fucking channel. I got no subscribers. People are peeling off like right. I gotta get a diversity, inclusion, compassion, kindness, and comics is the name of the channel. It will change your life.
But here's the thing.
Yes.
Taupe Daddy has a question for you, Cecil. Does Cecil wash his hands after making knuckle babies?
Yes, but not immediately after.
Also, they go on to say Ray giving Cecil an Alabama hot pocket before going to bed. What is a
Hot Pocket? What the
Lance,
fuck? is Alabama Hot Pocket.
Hold on, I'll Google it. Should I Google it for the show?
I don't know
No.
what it is.
I'll
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna say yes on it because it's Ray, but I don't know what it is, to be honest. But I'd be if she said if that woman came up to me and said I want to give you an Alabama hot pocket. Guess what?
No,
I'm getting
you
a
don't.
hot pocket.
I'm getting.
No,
a hot
you don't. It's not what you think it is. Trust me, you don't want it. There are certain things that should never be done, and that is one of them.
Well, we got Cecil to look up meat spin, so
I'm not interested in that.
Guys, James S., it is exactly that.
What is a hot pocket? Go ahead, let me know.
An Alabama Hot Pocket, and this is... It's NSFW. Is that okay here?
The channel is called World Class Bullshitters.
Okay, I'm just making sure. It's when you take a shit inside of a woman's vagina and then fuck that hole that's filled with shit.
Why? Why would Ray? Never mind. You know what?
Okay, then.
We'll let Cecil answer this next week on the High Council.
This is what they call a classic cliffhanger.
Find out next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Same time.
Oh, man.
Let me mull that one over.
All right, so folks, I've been Jeff Hicks of World Class Bullshitters. If you are listening to this show, then you probably subscribe to this channel. And if you haven't, well, you're missing out because we put out all kinds of stuff throughout the week. Yeah, we talk about Star Wars. We talk about entertainment. Every Thursday night, we put out a podcast called World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. It's a lot like this. But it's done with my friends from college, so it's a little more personal, but you'll still get a lot of laughs out of it. And I'd like to thank everyone who has found the channel through Ethan, through Geeks and Gamers, through everyone who's landed here on this channel. And, oh, wait, we got another super chat. Bikini, don't worry, Nerd Rage scared me for life with blue waffles.
Never Google the things I tell you about.
I feel like I'm going back to like freshman year at college where people will be like, hey, we all got the internet, check this out. And then they show you Meat Spin or Blue Waffle or Lemon Party or all this other weird crap.
Tub Girl.
Tub Girl's a classic. I stand by that one. Cecil, are you aware of Tub Girl?
No. Is it something I should get into?
Yes, you should definitely Google it.
Yes.
You should definitely Google it.
I know what everybody out there should get into immediately. Diversity, inclusion, compassion, kindness, and comics.
There you go.
All right, folks. Well, this has been episode 5, Ethan, of the High Council?
I think so.
God bless you all.
Numbers are arbitrary at this point. Thanks to everyone who watched. Tune in next week for more High Council hijinks, and thanks for watching.